play a little bit. Say hi in the comment section if you're here. Love to see who's here. Hi, how you doing? Hello, Faith. How's it going? Paul. Thank you for being here. Candace from Orlando, Florida. Elizabeth Cruz. How you doing, Elizabeth? Hi, Gordon. How's it going? Good to see you here. I hope that you found that chart okay, that you were able to open it, Gordon. The You Made Me Love You. Oh, yeah, Easter was good. Easter was good, Faith. How about yours? Hi, Ahmed. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Hannah from Public of Panama. Hi. Oh, hi from Amsterdam. Oh my goodness, there's so many people here. I'm just playing a little Travis picking pattern on my guitar as you come in. Oh, of course. Yeah. No, I'm glad that it helped, Gordon. Thanks for dropping me a note. It's just sometimes Patreon can be a little weird to navigate. And they say they're working on some changes, and I'm hoping that they come soon. I've had some people say, like, Patreon is just like an Instagram account. I'm like, no, there's so much more to it. From Nepal. Oh, Jair. Is that how you pronounce your name? From Brasilia. Lynn. Oh, I'm so glad you like the play-alongs. Thanks, Lynn. Hi, John. John and Carrie here, new members of Patreon. Thank you. Yes, I got your message. Hopefully you got my message too. I just sent you one. Hello from Wales. Where's the first kalimba? Oh, I've never done a kalimba video. I think you may have me mistaken for somebody else. But I'm glad you're here. Oh, fourth finger during riffs. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Yay! So I was just playing on my guitar here. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you, every single one of you. And your name is Hannah, and you're 9 years old. Hello, Hannah. Very nice to see you here. Ooh. Well, today we have a Q&A. Sorry, just my hot mess of hair right here. Ooh. There's a lot of it. It's all on the top of my head. From my mommy bun. So I'm going to take it out, let my hair down for this one. Yay. So thank you for joining me for this Q&A. I'm really excited to do this, and I'm really excited to be here. Thank you so much for sending in your questions on Instagram and also through the YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm excited to answer them. And so people are asking about my Patreon page, and thank you so much, Patreon patrons, for being here. If you're here right now, really appreciate your support. It really helps keep my channel going. It really means a lot to me. I have mini courses on my Patreon page, as well as the chord charts, and I have exclusive videos, started putting more exclusive videos on there, and also Patreon patrons. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been posting more exclusive videos on there, some play-alongs, and each play-along is a little different. And so I'm trying to figure out like what is going to be the best bang for the buck, what is going to be the most value to you. Like, do you like the chords flashing in time? Do you like the chords and the lyrics? Do you like the chords and the strumming pattern? Like, what's the most beneficial? So just let me know your feedback there. Okay, so let's get into one of our first questions. Oh, you have 2 lives going on the same ukulele. That is okay, Simon. That is totally okay. There's a lot of really amazing people, amazing things that you can find on the internet, guitar teachers, piano teachers, just anything, and it's really awesome that you live in an era of so much information at your fingertips. I remember when I first started guitar, I was 18 years old. It was 2000 and, um, when was it? When was it? 2002. There it is. It's 2002, 20 years ago. Oh boy. So 20 years ago, got my first guitar, and there was really nothing except for maybe a couple of online forums. It was called Olga.com. I think it was Online Guitar Archive. That's what Olga.com. And it was just tablature and chord charts. And I call chord charts good luck charts because if you don't know the song, if you don't know how it goes, good luck. Do you ever feel that way? So it's really cool. We live in an era where there's just so much information at your fingertips. So it's very, very cool. All right. So it says, Faith Ragland says, do you have any advice using the fourth finger during riffs? So we have finger one, two, three, four, like right here. All right. And then on this hand, on the picking hand, we have índice, medio, angular. Yeah. So we have pulgar, índice, medio, angular. All right. It's in your pinky. But, when it comes to using your riffs, yes, you can use your fourth finger during riffs. It's totally fine. I usually think of the one finger per fret rule. So, especially when it comes to, let me see here. All right, I'm going to pick up my ukulele for this one. You could use this for the guitar. I always think of one finger per fret. And it's really important to think about where your fingers are on the fretboard and thinking one finger per fret. Sometimes when we look at a lead line or if we look at a solo, we think we do the slide one finger. Anybody been there? I know it's sometimes that can be let's see here, convenient at first, but if you ever want to speed something up, it's going to be really difficult. So I think one finger per fret at first. So we have one finger per fret. Also, if you have something as far as spatially this way, like that, where I have from the first fret, third fret, fifth, right there, it's kind of like one finger per fret. But you see the pinky stretches a little, it has to stretch a little bit more, and pinky is not exactly the strongest. So I have index finger, middle finger, then pinky. See how there's just more room for it to move? Yeah, like that. And then also something that helps too is I was actually working on this with a student, online student. Sorry, my camera keeps going in and out of focus. I'm really sorry. But whenever you're going up and down the fretboard, leave the previous finger down. Don't pick it up. So this would be a technique where it would actually make everything really staccato. Watch. And you actually end up working harder because your pinky has to push down with all of that tension from starting from the fifth fret of first fret or the open string all the way to the fifth fret. Versus if I hold it, it not only sustains the string, it sustains the tone, but you actually end up working less because now the only tension that you have to push down for the fifth fret is between the third fret and the fifth fret, right? So you can hear the sustain a little bit more. So that would be my advice, especially when you're using riffs. Think about the one finger per fret rule. Now, sometimes when it comes to tablature, like I said, I call those good luck charts because they don't give you the exact fingering. They don't give you what is, how should I put this? Yeah, they don't give you the exact fingering. That's just it. They don't say, hey, start with your index finger on the fifth fret and then move to the seventh fret using your ring finger. You kind of have to figure that out, unfortunately, unless there's a tutorial that's actually showing you exactly what to do. But with that, you may have to experiment of what is going to be a flow of how your fingers would be able to move from one section to another section. May have to experiment. So I hope that that helps. All right. How many songs do I know on the guitar? I know a lot. Yeah. But the thing is there's a meme out there that I think guitar goddess Michelle. I don't know if you've ever checked her out. She's really sweet. She had a meme out there on Instagram, and they said when they tell you when they ask you to play a song and you play guitar, and then there's crickets. She's like, oh. Anybody else been there? I've so been there all the time when people say, "Hey, play us a song," and I think, I have no idea where to start. I should just have like my go-to, that type of thing. Yep. And as Candace said, yes, it's a little like scales. Exactly. And I have a Patreon course called Scales and Stretch, where it actually goes through what is a scale, and it goes through the C scale and how to actually move your fingers. And there's different exercises, different variations of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it goes into different riffs and things like that. So it helps you just build up to be able to smooth out your riffs as well. Okay. Love how your uke shirt and eyeshadow match. Yes. Yeah, I did not plan that. Oh, that's fun. I tried my first ever attempt at finger picking a cover of Shallow, but I always get distracted. Oh, you're very sweet. Any advice to the thanks, Simon. On the finger picking, take it slow. I have a video on how to use a metronome, and basically a metronome is something that just keeps the beat. And what you want to do is you want to take it, I would say, take it one measure at a time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then what you do is that you have your metronome, and I use Pulse Metronome on my phone. Let me find it. It's free, and you find whatever beat you want. I mean, just because it's at the tempo of the song doesn't mean you have to do that right away. You probably shouldn't. You should go slow and make sure that whatever your finger picking is, make sure it's consistent, accurate, clean. All right. And so then what happens is that when we're finger picking, sometimes we do this. We get really excited. And then we get to another, give me a second. Here. Let me use the guitar, for example, because I was using a Travis picking pattern. Guitar, ukulele, it doesn't matter. So if I do this. No, 1 E and a 2 E and a. Those are 16th notes. But let's say I'm working through some transitions and it sounds like this. And you notice there's a part where it's just not even. Practice the part that isn't even slowly and evenly. So here's, I'm going to take it slow. 2, 3, find my 8th note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 16. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So make sure that you practice slowly, consistently, use a metronome because it's an external beat. It's something that's holding you accountable to a beat rather than just your ear. And yeah, start slow. I tell my students, sloppy slow, sloppy fast. So if it's sloppy slow, you try to speed it up. Guess what? It's gonna be sloppy. All right. And so then just try to slow it down. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Tenor uke tuned to key of C. Yes. This is standard tuning, G, C, E, A. Yep. So goats can eat apples. All right. Let's see here. Advice for learning piano for a guitar ukulele player. I would say, I actually started on piano. That was the first formal instrument that I started, and let's see here. My piano is actually my keyboard. If you can see that, it's right there. You can see it. I would say start off with scales, especially the C scale. I know that when I started piano, we started with scales, and it was the C scale and those circle of fifths: C, G, A, E. And as you learn your scales, just give me a moment here. I'm going to move this over here. You learn the proper way that your fingers are supposed to move. I'll bring over to my piano. So as you learn your scales, your fingers are learning the proper way to move. You can see that. Yay. And it's really important to do that because you need a really good training ground for your fingers. And that is going to only help you in learning songs. You need that foundation. It's not only spatial awareness of learning the notes, but also knowing how your fingers move properly on the piano, on the keyboard. So for example, you could play a C scale like this. Great. It's not going to help you. And so then we have we ran out of fingers. So then you learn how to, thumb goes under after do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And then you have the remaining rest of your hand is utilizing each and every single finger. So that is my advice. Scales are very foundational. Don't shy away from those. Okay. Oh, while I'm here at the piano, actually the lighting is pretty good. Oh, no, never mind. My camera keeps focusing like in and out. So sorry about that. Okay. Let me see here. Is ukulele my favorite instrument? You know what? It depends. Wait, Katie, I hope that worked. I hope that helped you. Let me know. I hope that helped just kind of give you a starting point. Let's see. Charles Chamberlain says, play hallelujah. So maybe a little bit. I can play a little bit, but just a minute. I think that it depends upon the day and the, I would say the piece too. There are some pieces that I just love to play on the guitar, some pieces absolutely on the ukulele, and other on the piano. Yes. How old am I? I am 38. I will be 39 this August. So yes, I have 3 children. I have an 8-month-old, a 2-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad that helped. I have to pull up the lyrics. Talk about like, hey, play a song. Do you know the words? All right. Let me pull this up here, and then we're going to get to some Instagram questions. I was not planning on doing this, so this is going to be interesting. Okay, just looking it up. Thanks for waiting. All right, the version of Hallelujah that I have is the Christmas version because I just really love the lyrics of it. I heard about this baby boy who's come to earth to bring us joy, and I just wanna sing this song to you. It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift. With every breath I'm singing hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. A couple came to Bethlehem, expecting child. They searched the inn to find a place, for you were coming soon. There was no room for you to stay, so in a manger filled with hay, Emmanuel was born. Oh, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. The shepherds left their flocks by night to see this baby wrapped in light. A host of angels led them all to you. It was just as the angel said, you'll find him manger for a bed, Emmanuel and Savior. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. I know you came to rescue me. This baby boy would grow to be a man and one day die for you and me. My sins would drive the nails in you. That rugged cross was my cross too. Still every breath you drew was hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Yay. I was not expecting to do that. Oh, thank you, Charles. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just really appreciate the super chat. So yay. Hey, God bless you too. Thank you. Helps me out. Thank you. It's very sweet. I love how I get in the zone so fast. Hey, I'm surprised that I did. I'm surprised I got in the zone so fast. Maybe it's because I feel so comfortable around you guys. You're my family, my one music school family. It's so sweet. Um, oh, Christian O'Callaghan. Haven't heard of him. Pretty cool. I should look him up. Oh, you're very sweet. Thank you guys. It's very interesting how, um, yeah, so it's just like, oh, you played on your long neck banjo. That's really cool. With a low E. Oh, that'd be really cool. That'd be cool. Hey, Steve. Hi. Okay, everybody, look at Steve. His name is Steve Pulda. He has a YouTube channel and it is really cool. He builds Lego villages, and he also makes music. So he plays bass. He makes his own like background music too, building these Lego villages. You really have to check him out. Steve Pulda. He's in the comment section. So he's in the comic section. Yep. So go check out his channel. Okay. Yes, please do so. So he's a friend of mine. Hey, Steve, you really need to do it. It's really cool. It's really creative. Like mixing music with Legos, and yeah, it's just something that I'm just not that cool to think about. So, oh, your nieces would love to check out a channel. Yes, Faith, go ahead and do that. So, yay, Haley. Okay, so Haley had a really interesting question. And so for the Q&A, and she said that she is an aspiring singer-songwriter, and how do you deal with being told no a lot in this season? And it seems like a very a very discouraging time. And she said that she is going to be graduating soon. And she gave me a little bit of background because I wanted to know, like, well, who's telling you no? Why do you think they're telling you no? And she said that, well, right at this time that she wants to start a YouTube channel and she wants to move to Nashville and she wants to start, getting the singer-songwriter life going, and completely understand where you're coming from. And your parents are saying, not right now or no at this time. And I would say that it sounds like you have a lot of people that care about you very much, that they would tell you no at this time. And I heard no too from my dad. He's like, no daughter of mine is ever going to music school. And with the same concerns, because it can be very difficult to earn a living through the arts. And I did not. Sorry, my camera keeps focusing. I'm focusing, but I went to school for education, but I studied music on the side. For like, I took every music class that I possibly could, and I was constantly in music lessons, either piano, voice, guitar, ukulele, almost every single week from the age of I think 17 is when I really started to no, actually I was in flute lessons before that. But especially even during college, I was taking music lessons. And when I'd come home, I would take music voice lessons with my old voice teacher. And in college, I took every music class that I could. And so, but it was one thing where they didn't have an actual music minor. They were in the works for it, but there was some logistics that needed to be worked out and some classes that needed to be to count for a music minor. But by the time I graduated, they still didn't have it. But I still took as many as I could. But I do know exactly where you're coming from, where you're hearing the word no. My advice would be, and if I could talk to 18-year-old Katie, because I was just gutted that I wasn't able to go to music school at that time, um, my advice would be that lean in to what people are telling you and see it through the lens of that they care about you and that they love you. And I know that can be discouraging. I totally understand, because you have these big dreams and these big aspirations, and you're excited and you feel like you come alive when you sing and when you play and when you put notes and words together, and people come alive too with those songs. I keep working at that craft, but don't neglect that at all. But also, don't neglect the stewardship of being a good steward of the relationships around you. Try to see that when they're saying no to you at this time, see that as a stewardship of trust. You're building trust between you and your parents at this time. And it's, I would say that when you are faithful with the things in front of you, as small and as mundane as it seems, because sometimes it seems like our everyday lives are not glamorous, right? Like, yeah, I turn on the camera and I make arrangements and I teach things on YouTube and on Instagram, things like that. I post fun things, fun pictures when my hair and my makeup is done or somewhat haphazardly, that type of thing. But as soon as I turn this off, I'm going to attend to, like, if my babies get up in the middle of the night and changing diapers, and I'm wiping boogered noses. And I'll tell you a little story too. I know there are things I never thought I'd say as a mother, which is, you may remain in the tub as long as you don't poop. Like, saying that to, like, my 2-year-old daughter. There's nothing glamorous about that. Everybody has something in front of them in which they need to be faithful with. And so I'd say lean in this season of what is God asking you to be faithful with in this season, because it may not be no, it may be wait, because maybe you need to learn something in this season that will prepare you for the next, because maybe you wouldn't be strong enough to be able to handle it or to be able to carry it in a later season. Keep reading your Bible, keep getting to know him, keep getting to know, I'm going to talk about Jesus because I'm talking to somebody that is a Christian. Keep getting to know the Lord, keep getting to know him, keep praying for his will, because maybe they're trying to protect you from something that you just don't know. I mean, there are things that I have prayed for. I wanted to be in a band. I wanted to travel. I wanted to be a traveling musician. I wanted to go on tour with all of these other Christian musicians and bands. And I'm like, this would be the life. This is exactly what I want to do. And now looking back, hearing stories about certain things, from other musicians or people that had gone down that road, certain friends of mine that have gone to Nashville, and they've Some people loved it, and then some people are like, it was good for a season. But I know that for me, I'm grateful that it didn't happen because now I've met my husband who is not a musician, not a musical bone in his body, nothing. He is a homebody, and he likes to stay. And I'm like, I want to be a missionary, and I want to, I want to, like there. And I felt like, did you hear my elbow pap there? Yes. And I see the two of us as like I am a sailboat, and he is my anchor. Not an anchor that holds me down, but he knows that I have so much energy and I get so excited that I will go full throttle and I will keep sailing, 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 but I will not take account to the cliff that is right in front of me. And I'm about to sail right off a cliff. He is my anchor and holds me. Jesus is my anchor, holds me, and keeps me and protects me even when I have no idea why things didn't happen. And there's still a lot of things in my life that I just really wish would come to fruition. There's a lot of things that are put on hold for me. At 38, I thought I'd have a bunch of albums down, and here I am still trying to plug away at my first one, and then I got pregnant with my third child. I'm like, change of plan again, you know? But, and also pay attention to like, what is that feeling inside that says like, you have to do this now? You don't have to do this right now. God has your name. He has your address. He knows where you are. He can do anything, you know? So just if you feel that urgency, like there's somebody that said the devil drives, but the spirit leads. And so if I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm behind, I'm looking at what everybody else is doing. This is just talking to me. I don't know if this resonates with anybody here, but sometimes you look around online and you're like, man, that's awesome. They're doing such great things. What am I doing with my life? Ooh. And then you think, oh, well, then I should be doing this, and I should be doing this, and I should be doing this. And then you actually end up wearing yourself out doing the things you weren't supposed to be doing anyway. Yeah. So I've done that before quite a bit with my life, and not proud of that. Not proud of that. But just knowing that, okay, so if you're feeling that urgency, like you're behind, where's that voice coming from? Because that doesn't come from the still soft voice of the peace that passes understanding from the Lord. It said, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. He didn't say he's going to make it, rich and prosperous, that type of thing. No. He said he'd make it straight. He would make it clear. So, but it says, trust in your Lord, lean not on your own understanding. Yeah. So, during the season, learn all that you can, keep working on your craft. Don't give up that hope, but surrender that to the Lord and keep working on the things that God has placed in front of you. Being faithful with that, with the relationships that you have in front of you and the things that you have. So, all right, Jordan. All right, you have a problem with, is it picking, Jordan? Pumping on the uke. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. So, yeah, I wish I knew what that means. Okay, so it's your problem with pumping after your video, and is it palm muting? I don't know. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So is it possible to have a tutorial on reading sheet music? That has been on my bucket list to do that. Man, I'm gonna need some help watching my kids. Can anybody come over and watch my kids while I make videos, please? Because right now I get up really early in the morning. I do have somebody that does come over and watches them for a couple hours a week. She is wonderful, and that's how I'm able to get videos done this season. But before, when when I had two kids or one kid, I'd get up at 3 in the morning, and I'd work between 3:30 in the morning and 6 and 6:30 in the morning, and that would be my work time. And then I'd just go be mommy for the rest of the day. But that's changed because now I have baby number 3, and baby number 3 likes to get up and eat in the middle of the night a lot. And she's teething. It's just a season. It'll pass. This too. Oh, thanks, Katie, for being here. No, it's on your video, like on Fly Me to the Moon. Oh, is it chucking? Is it chucking? Like that? Chucking? Jordan? All right. Well, Jordan is getting back to me. Gordon, yes, I do. I do give private lessons. And I will link after this video is done, and I'll contact you through Patreon. I'll send you the link. I have a limited amount of spots right now, but maybe we could find something that would be able to coordinate. You're able to buy like either one or a package deal, and then you get a discount on that package. And it's through something called Acuity Scheduling. I'll also send you prices, and you let me know, and you can schedule your lessons whenever you like. It's really cool because you just look at my availability and you line it up with yours. You pay, and then you boom, 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 you just pick your lesson dates. And then what happens is that I send you a Zoom link, and then you tell me what you would like to work on beforehand, and I prepare chord charts and a lesson for you, and then we work on specifically what you want to work on, just like this, like if you were talking to me like this. So yes, I will contact you. I'll put that on my mental list of things to do. Chucking. Okay, so when it comes to chucking. All right, so grab your ukuleles if you have them. And I'm just going to choose a C chord. And what happens is that when you chuck, your palm right here is muting the strings and your finger flicks down. So you're going to be strumming and muting at the same time. So how do you get that rhythm? Make sure your ukulele is more so up at a 45-degree angle. I can talk. It's been a long day. 45-degree angle. And then I'm using not only this portion of my palm, but maybe a little bit of my pinky. This portion of my palm, I call it something very technical. I call it the squishy part. So we take the squishy part of my hand with this and just gently put it across your strings this way. I like to keep it more so like almost not parallel with the floor, but just at a comfortable angle so it doesn't feel weird. And then once my palm is touching the strings, I flick my index finger down and until I hear a click, 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 so that I know that no strings are ringing out. If you hear something ring out, it means that all of your strings need to be in contact with some part of your palm. And so then when you strum down, first my hand comes in contact with the strings like this, and then flick down. So down, mute, flick. Down, mute, flick. Down, mute, flick. Down, mute, flick. Hi, Jacob from Hawaii. Flick. Down, mute, flick. Down, mute, flick. Down, mute, flick. Mute, flick. Mute, flick. Mute, flick. Mute, flick. And so then now try a C chord. Down, up, mute, flick. Down, up, mute, flick. You may have to work on just kind of the timing coordination, but make sure that your palm mutes first and then your finger flicks down. Mute, flick, mute, flick, mute, flick, mute, flick, mute, flick. Okay. Now, if the chucking is still a little hairy at this point, or if it's just not, you're not confident with chucking at this point and you have a performance soon, take it out. Don't worry about it. People are not going to know that he saw a tutorial online and it said chucking and he's not chucking and palm muting at the same time. It's going to be fine. Do you know what people are going to know? How you made them feel with the song. If you did, all right, so if you did, it's like you'll Fly Me to the Moon. You know what? I don't think I did Fly Me to the Moon. I think you made me have me mistaken with somebody else. But what I do have is Love. The L is for the way you look at me, like that. I have that one, but still it's the same concept. So if you had the fly me to the moon, fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, like that. So if you have the chucking, great. But if you did fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars, let me you see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. All right. So, okay, you mean like muting it? So it'd be like, would it be like left-handed muting? Or like this? Yeah. Oh, you've just been slapping it. Well, hopefully that helps. Sorry, you just went out of tune and it's driving me nuts. But I'm hoping I'm answering your questions. But anyway, if you do find that there's a technique that you really want to do, but it's just not ready for performance, make it simple. Make it simple and make people smile. Smile, have fun, and people will have fun along with you. Okay? Sometimes we have this idea in our head of what something should be like, and sometimes we just need to let it go, let it go. Okay, what do you do for work other than YouTube? So I teach music lessons. I used to be a middle school bilingual literacy teacher, and I taught music lessons on the side. And then that became I was very blessed to have a lot of people that wanted to take music lessons, so much that I was able to resign from teaching and then teach music full time. And then YouTube has been my side hustle. And so right now, because now I have 3 children, and that's the main purpose of why I resigned from teaching in the public schools, so that I could create my own schedule so that I could be a mom. So, man, I only have a little bit of time to devote to YouTube. I wish I had more, but at the same time, it's like, I'm so grateful I get to watch every single milestone of my children. And my 8-month-old just last week just started to call me mama. She looked at me and went, "Mama!" Went, and I'm just so grateful that I got to be there. But because you support me here, it means the world to me because I get to do that. You allow me to do something I love and be a mama. So thank you for that. Oh, Cynthia Lynn has Fly Me to the Moon. Oh, yes, she has a lot. She's great. Oh, she's great. All right. Left-handed muting. Okay. So what happens with left-handed muting? I really need to tune. Otherwise, I'm going to have a heart attack. Give me a second. We tune because we care. Ta-da. That's for you, Melanie. Goats can eat apples. All right, I have a number of videos on left-handed muting. But what happens is that, especially when you have a wait, this is not fun. It's a little flat. It's a little better. All right, so what happens is that keep your strumming hand going, and then there are going to be certain fingers that will mute the strings. So as long as you keep your strumming hand going, and then your fingers are going to be muting. Is that the one that you're thinking of? So as long as you keep your strumming hand going, it's going to be a lot easier to don't think about doing any new strumming patterns. The muting, the rhythm comes from this rather than your chucking hand or like your strumming hand. So how I'm getting that muting, especially it works really well on bar chords or string or songs where chords where you have like with 3 or more strings that are covered by a finger. So if I strum and then I immediately release the pressure without lifting my fingers off of the strings, what happens is that it stops the strings from vibrating. And so it creates more of a staccato. So you may have to experiment with your timing. Like that versus. Do you hear like one goes ba, pop, and it creates space between the notes. And so then what happens is that my fingers remain in contact with the strings, but I squeeze, but then I release the pressure. See that? Look, my big old band-aid. Pop, 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 like that. I hope that explains it just a little bit more. Okay. All right. Can you claw hammer? No, I can't, but Christopher Davis Shannon can. Yes, Banjolele Tin Man. He's amazing. He can claw hammer. I would love to learn how to claw hammer. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. You should check him out. He's got some great resources out there. When did I start to sing? I started to sing ever since I could remember, to the point where I would sing all the time, and my parents had to make rules for me. Like, there's no singing at the table. There's no singing during my favorite TV show. There's no singing in the car. There's no singing in the living room. I would not stop singing. And then, yeah, so it's cool. Gotta catch them all. Hi, Melanie. How's it going? You're an elementary school teacher. Oh, that's really cool. Oh, I bet the kids love that, Gordon. That is really cool. So you're struggling with bar chords. Is there a more specific way for them to be easier? I do have a number of videos on bar chords on the push-pull motion. I don't know if you've heard of the push-pull motion before, or counterweight. Also, roll your finger onto its side. I would say that the biggest one would be the push-pull motion. So what happens is that if you're holding your ukulele properly at the neck at a 45-degree angle, if you take your elbow and you press this portion of the body into your ribs, your body, you're going to notice the neck wants to swing forward. You're going to use your larger muscles to stabilize the ukulele neck or the guitar neck. This also works for guitar too. I've talked to a number of students and it's been like mind blown. And when you feel that push-pull motion, you're going to feel more so of the strings kind of pulling, like pushing into your fingers, settling into your fingers rather than just using your tiny muscles right here, but you're going to be using the weight of your arm as well. So if you do push, pull, you kind of stabilize, kind of pulling back a little bit, you're going to notice, see the push-pull motion right there, that you're going to exert a lot less pressure here than you did previously. I'll link that video after I'm done in the description box below, and hopefully you'll be able to see that description. But give it a try where you're not just squeezing for dear life and hoping for the best. Yay. So, oh yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for doing the kazoo. Do you have any finger picking tips for the guitar? I would say start slow. Start slow at first and start with a very simple pattern because you can always work your way up. I have a tutorial on Amazing Grace and it has the scrolling tabs as well for the guitar or for the blessing too. So Amazing Grace or the blessing has a very simple finger picking pattern that I think that it's a great foundation for other songs, but you can always speed it up later. All right. So no matter how slow you go, just make sure that it's even and that it's consistent. And you can always speed it up later. Okay. So don't be discouraged by the speed in which you finger pick. It will get better over time. Okay. Another thing is that most finger picking songs, they revolve around chords. So as long as you keep your fingers within the chords, if you accidentally pluck another string that wasn't really in the tutorial or wasn't in the song, nobody's going to notice unless you do this. Wait, my camera's going to focus. Ah! I messed up on the F major 7. Did anybody notice? You noticed because of my face, the face that I made. So as long as you keep your fingers within the chord, it's like a safeguard. You could really you could pluck any string and you could mess up and people won't really notice because it's within the chord. Yeah. So I can only imagine. I'll see if I have time at the end. So yeah, Candace, I hope that works with the bar chords. Yeah, I just wish I could be a little bit more specific. Faith, maybe right now, but it's just the videos, they really go in depth of some bar chord tips and hopefully those work. And if they don't, leave me a comment in the comment section of like, hey, all of these still didn't work, Katie. I'll come up with another video, okay? Let's see. How do you finger pick and play a chord at the same time? You just hold your fingers in the position of the chord. That's it. And then you basically choose a rhythm. So we give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's basically how you hold a chord and play it at the same time. I do have a video on how to finger pick any song on the guitar and explains it a little bit more. But let's say that if you have a guitar and you have a C chord, this is my C chord. The rule basically is that if your thumb plucks something called the root note or the start of your chord, and it's usually the lowest root note that you have. So this is the third fret of the A string. That's a C. So this is my C chord, this is my C note. And then because each note that I'm holding or each finger that I'm holding or an open string, it's going to correspond to the C chord. It's going to play notes C, E, or G. Just maybe a different octave because some strings are wound differently and have different pitches. But you're still only playing those three notes, C, E, and G. So you could choose the root note, and then you could choose whatever fingers you wanted. So here I'm choosing the A string, G string, and the B string, and then back to the G string. Thumb, pointer, middle, pointer. Do you notice how this hand did not move? It doesn't have to in order to play finger pick with the chord. So I know it's kind of it's a little difficult to explain, but that video really does help with that a lot. But as long as you can think of, okay, where's the root, the start of my chord? So if I have a G chord, I would start here with this G, and then you could basically choose whatever strings you wanted because it would still fit within the arpeggio. Just basically what sounds better for you. Sometimes finger picking can, because it could be just about whatever you want it to be. People just need a starting point, but that video on how to finger pick any song on the guitar would be a good starting point for you. So let's see here. I'm also singing Jar of Hearts for performance on the uke, but I don't know how to sing the high part without sounding like I'm yelling at it. You're female, by the way. So is it the end that don't come back at all? When it comes to singing a song or a cover, make it your own so it sounds like you still. You don't have to be Christina Perri. Yeah, is that right? Is that her name? Christina Perri? I hope it is. But yes, what you can do is that you can adjust things because don't come back for me. Don't come back at all. You could flip over into her falsetto, or what you could do is that you could still sing it low. You don't have to sing like her. Or you could be, don't come back for me. Don't come back at all. Who do you think you are? Like that. You could do that. You can do whatever you want. You know why? Because you're covering the song and it means something to you. So you're telling the story. Yeah. I hope that helps. Let's see here. Oh, I can only imagine lessons for uke. Pleasant. Oh, yeah, yes, I would love to do that one. It's been on my list for a while. How do you play B flat diminished 9? Guitar or ukulele? Yeah, I would say that if it doesn't sound natural to you with the belting part and you're practicing it and it just doesn't sound like you, or it just sounds like, oh my gosh, that's just really, it's too much and you're belting it. I can say, like, 1, go for it. Or 2, you can change it. You have total freedom to do that. One person told me, unless somebody is paying you to play it exactly or sing it exactly how it is written, you can do whatever you want. Oh, Katy Perry. No. No. Okay. So, let's see here. Christina Perri. Okay. Good. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, Connor, I don't know if you're talking about ukulele or if you're talking about guitar. So, or piano. Which one? Okay, Instagram. We have an Instagram question. Somebody asked about capos. They said they're trying to use their ukulele capo, And they're like, they have one, they can put it on the uke, but what does it exactly do? What it does is that it quickly transposes a song to be able to play a song with more accessible chords, or you just enjoy the chord voicing. I was talking with Cynthia Lynn the other day, and she's like, I don't like putting capos on ukuleles. It kind of chokes the neck. It's so funny. Um, but like with this, you have like, and also some people think that the ukulele, what it does is like it kind of cramps their fingers because the closer you are, you get to the body of of the neck, it just frets get closer and closer together. So you get that type of thing. So what it does is that it transposes the song to a higher key so that it makes it more the chords just more accessible. Or it could be easier to sing if the song is too low. So for example, if I have something in the key of C sharp, because that's everybody's favorite. Hmm. What you could do is that you could put it on capo 1, and the capo kind of acts as your finger as the bar chord. Another example would be the key of D. So the key of D has the B minor. It has that bar chord in there. But what you could do is you could put your capo on fret number 2, and it brings it up 2 half steps. 2 half steps from C is a D. No bar chords. Yay. So basically, what it does is it transposes the key for you without having to do any quick music theory in your head. So you can think, oh my goodness, this is too low. What I can do is I can place my capo on a certain fret, and then it's going to be able to be singable. Another thing that it does is that it makes the chords more accessible to play so that you can avoid bar chords if you wanted to. Just the problem is that some ukulele capos, they kind of get in the way, like especially this one. Like some people just don't like this extra little clamp right here. They make ones that don't have that extra little handle right here. And then other people don't prefer the tone. But some people find like, man, my fingers get really cramped if I put my capo on fret number 5 because the frets get closer and closer together the closer and closer you get to the body. So I don't know if that explains it a little bit, but it's basically like a transposing machine for you. Hi, Linda. Hi. Oh, I miss you. You're so sweet. Oh, Linda. How you doing? How you doing, Linda? Okay. Cool. Okay. I have time for one last one last question, and it's from Instagram. Let's see here. It's my friend Debbie. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, she said, "How do you keep your faith so strong with so much pain in the world?" So this is a tough one, and this is my uke club meets tomorrow. Oh, that's so exciting! I'm so excited for you! Yay! So this one right here, I'd say that definitely people. I think sometimes people think that if you have faith, it means that you don't struggle at all, and that's not true. I think that it's definitely normal to struggle, especially when you see so much around you, so much pain, you see so much suffering, and you wonder like what's going on, why? And I definitely have questioned that too, because the past 2 years have been really difficult. Uh, not only for my family, but then you see other people's families, and then you have pandemic, and you have people losing their jobs and businesses closing, and doors opening, but a lot of doors closing, um, and war. It's devastating. It's gutting, and it can be really really overwhelming, and really um, burden. burdensome. And so she asked, like, how do I keep my faith so strong during these times? And I'd say, like, you know what? There have been many times when I've questioned, like, God, what are you doing? And why would you allow all of this? And it, for lack of better words, it hurts. It really does hurt. There is a song that I am posting soon next month, and it's called Promises by Maverick City. And I'm pulling up the lyrics. It says, God of Abraham, you're the God of covenant. Oh yeah, God of Abraham, you're the God of covenant and of faithful promises. Time and time again, you have proven you'll just do what you said. Though the storms may come and the winds may blow, I'll remain steadfast. And let my heart learn when you speak a word, it will come to pass. Great is your faithfulness to me. Great is your faithfulness to me. From the rising sun to the setting same, I will praise your name. Great is your faithfulness to me. So I think about God's promises, and it says, like, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you. And it says in Joshua, it says, be strong and courageous, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So I am going to talk about God. So if you don't like that, that's okay. You can leave. Peace be with you. Love you. But thinking about, okay, so in his word, there's a bunch of promises about, like, he will never leave us, never forsake us. I was reading in Isaiah 53. I believe it's Isaiah 53, where it talks about that Jesus was a man of sorrows, that he is acquainted with our sorrows, that he is with us in that, and he hurts with us as well. It also says that we do not have a high priest that does not sympathize with us. It's like he knows what it is to feel this pain. And he says that he would always be with us and he would never leave us and never forsake us. And even our feelings feel that way. It's knowing that he is God, that he holds it together even when we don't think that he's working. Don't mistake. Somebody once said, don't mistake inactivity for God not working, because we don't know how he is working. And a quote by C.S. Lewis, if you've ever heard of Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, C.S. Lewis also has written a lot of amazing pieces of literature. He's friends with J.R.R. Tolkien. If you're not familiar with that, he wrote Lord of the Rings. C.S. Lewis didn't, J.R.R. Tolkien did, but they were friends. And they talked a lot. They talked about literacy and their literary works and things like that. And C.S. Lewis said, if a thing is free to be good, it is also free to be bad. And free will is what has made evil possible. Why then God did give them free will? Because free will, though it makes evil possible, is also the only thing that makes possible any love or goodness or joy worth having. And so I believe that we're given a choice to love people or not. And I know that there are a lot of people that choose not to, and for some reason or another. But I know that there are so many things I wish that I could change about the world. But I've also heard that revival starts with me. That if Mother Teresa's also said that if you want to change the world, go home and love your family. It starts in those small things. I believe that for me, with my choices, with my free will, I know I fall short of the glory of God completely. I'm not perfect. My track record is not perfect. And I'm just grateful for Jesus, who came in my stead to pay the price that I could not pay for my imperfection. So, but with that, I do know that I have free will. And with that, making the choices to use that free will to choose to do the right thing and do the next right thing. And so then that's what keeps my faith strong, is knowing that God is faithful, even when I don't see it. Like I'm just a small blip on the map. and knowing that, he has all of his promises written down in his word, and that he is going to complete them. He's going to, he also says that, vengeance is his, and that he's going to hold accountable um, the things that, it was like, well, where is justice? Where is it? And it's like, God sees it. But I also heard that, it says that God is watching you. And some people have used that to lord over people, like, well, God's watching you. It's like, well, I also see that as a thing of comfort. Like, no, God is watching me. He sees me. He knows. He knows. And but it also says, um, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Proverbs 3:5-6. So it's like, all right, Lord, I do trust you. I'm not going to lean on my own understanding. I'm not going to believe. I'm not going to lean on my own understanding. I don't understand what you're doing, Lord. But I do trust you, and I'm going to do the next right thing. It may not feel like it's doing much, but I know that being obedient in those moments, especially choosing to serve and love my family when I'm really tired and I don't want to, I know that those little things are going to make a difference. It's going to bear fruit. And so then, as you choose to do the next right thing, that is going to bear fruit. You have no idea how that is going to impact somebody else. Not only that person, one person once told me that your yes, when you say yes, there is 1,000 other yeses behind yours. And so we have a lot of influence, more than we could ever imagine or ever think. And so we can either choose to use it wisely or not, but it's worth it. So that's how it was kind of a long answer, but I hope that helped. Oh, yeah. So good. Oh, thank you, Charles. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, yes, I'm a Christian. It says I'm a servant of God. I am a Christian. Yes. Yes, of course, Melanie. I know what it's like to lose a pet, to lose a family member. So, hmm yep, for all fallen short of the glory of God. Yes, everybody. So, somebody asked me, like, why do I go to church? It's like, I go to church because I know how messed up I am, and I know how much I need Jesus. I, somebody asked me, like, also, like, how I came to know Jesus as my savior, and I would boil it down to, I could just never be good enough. I thought that if I were the best musician and I could put my worth on being a good musician, then people would want to be around me and people would want to know me. And but like, applause fades, and if you do things for applause, applause is all you get. And at the end of the day, where is everybody? It's also very much like, the internet too. It's like you have people that come and they go, and if you're not anchored, if you're not rooted deeply, um, this kind of thing can really mess with you, with numbers. If you base your worth upon how many comments you get, or how many subscribers you have, or how many people view your videos, and there's like a social currency, so to speak, and it can be really, how do I put this? Um, if you base your worth on that type of thing, on metrics, it's just always going to be up and down and volatile. No, it can really mess with your head too. But it also can be like with social circles. I'm like, I just want, if I could just get this group to accept me, if I could just get the approval of my dad, if I could just get a compliment from my mom for once, if I could just, or, like, I'm just throwing out examples, because we all have, different stories. Or if I could just get win the gold medal for figure skating, if I could just, have this lead in the musical, if I could just get that job, if I could just get that car, if I could just, then I'll be happy. And it's like, it's, for me, it was always and then what? And I always found myself at the end of myself. And I always was empty and dry and exhausted. And finally, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I actually became really, really ill, and I couldn't sing for a year. It was excruciating, painful. I had some vocal problems, and so I couldn't sing, so I didn't know who I was. But there's another thing that people say is like, if you're not dead, God's not done. So I had to come to terms with the fact that maybe I would never be able to sing again. It's like, okay, Lord, so if I can't sing, then you've got to have something else for me. There's another plan because we're all created on purpose for a purpose. So, and God intends to solve some of the world's problems through you. But yeah, that's the kind of the long and short of how I came to know Jesus. I just came to the end of myself. Just that I can't do this anymore. I can't base my worth off of what other people think of me anymore because it's exhausting and it's never ending. It's never enough. And so it's learning to not strive and learning to walk with the Lord and say like, okay, Lord, now what do you see? How do you see me? Okay, so if I'm your daughter and you love me and you're the king of the universe and you love me, then what does it matter what other people think of me? Okay, Lord, you see other people the same way. You love them. So I need to be loving who you love as well. So, okay. Well, okay. Well, I hope to meet you too one day too. Thank you for being here. I know it kind of got long at the end, but I really appreciate you. And yes, I appreciate every single one of you. I'm just amazed by all of your support and your love. And I do not take it for granted at all. Well, that would be the end of the Q&A. And yes. Okay. Have a wonderful night. I'm going to go drink a bunch of water. I am so dehydrated right now. And maybe have a piece of chocolate. I'm excited. I'm going in the kitchen. All right. I love you so much. You have a wonderful day. And you are loved. Deeply so.